2094, also known as Motormouth, which takes the form of a European male in his 40s as of the current year. There are several tattoos that depict circus motifs across his upper body. He speaks English, and more specifically in a New York accent. He is also very proficient in juggling. All these sound very normal, just like any human being you would bump into on your way to do groceries, until he stretches his jaw and pulls his facial muscles in any direction for up until 2 meters. You might squirm at the imagination of performing such a feat yourself, the pain, the horror. But for 2094, it's just as painless as breathing. This is because 2094 is the subject of an anomaly originating within its oral cavity, which allows it to redirect any physical matter that enters its mouth to an extra-dimensional organ. As there are no limit to how much 2094 can store within himself, you'd be surprised what the Foundation has found hidden in his mouth, from things as small as a lighter to things as huge as entire, fully functional sports cars. Additionally, all these items don't weigh down 2094 at all. Why can't our clothes have pockets like that? Just in case you're wondering, why is 2094 called Motormouth? That's because he talks a lot. So anyway, hear me out. I've got this fantastic idea for the circus. So what I want you and what other people to do is to just pull my mouth and stretch it so wide and then let the car— I swear, I'm gonna vomit a swarm of bees all over your face if you don't stop that motor mouth of yours. Aw, gee, my bad. I guess I talk a little too much, but hey, I really like the sound of that. Motormouth. Motormouth. Oh, what would my name be without you now? So anyway, what you guys will do is to stretch my mouth wide enough. Won't you shut up? He also performed tricks where a huge motorcycle went flying over a ramp and sailed into his mouth. What a fitting trick for his name. As for his containment procedure, well, he stays in a room of one of the Foundation facilities. He is taken care for and given certain luxury items under the supervision of the Foundation personnel. He wasn't captured, and he didn't really surrender himself to the Foundation either. So how did he end up here? He was sent to the Foundation by his family. Well, not his actual family, but his family from the Circus of Disquieting. As a kid, 2094 was born and raised in a broken family. His father left them before he was born. Unlike 2094, his mother was just a normal human, and she hated him. After she noticed that 2094 could perform the inhuman act of pulling his mouth wide open like a monster child who would swallow an adult whole, she locked him up at home for fear that he would consume another human being, should he be allowed to the outside world. In return, 2094 hated his mother with a passion. He would utilize his inborn ability to torment her. Sometimes he would sneak out and bring back woodland creatures such as snakes and spiders in his mouth and unleash them in the house. Additionally, although timid, 2094 was cunning. Utilizing his childish innocence look, he would walk up to his mother with one of those adorable 8-year-old smiles and then spit up a couple dozen rats onto his mother's lap. Until one night, when 2094's mother was sleeping, a man with an upside-down face appeared at his window. He would later be known as Manny. "Freaks like me and you don't belong being cooped up in boxes," he said with a smile from ear to ear. "We belong out in the world, sharing our gifts, making people laugh and scream and puke." Instead of being afraid at the sight of the man's horrifying upside-down face, 2094 was excited because he had finally found someone else weirder than him, if not just as weird. "Come with me to a place where you'll be loved by hundreds, where you'll be a star, where you'll have a real family," said Manny. And so 2094 joined the circus, where he learned that there are other unusual characters just like him. And finally, he received love that his real family never gave. But soon, as time went on, 2094 noticed something wasn't quite right with the kids that were brought into the circus. He thought they were just the usual kids rescued by Manny from broken families, just like he was. Something in his guts made him feel uneasy, but he couldn't quite tell what it was. Until one day, when he met a new member of the circus, a little girl who could fall into pieces and then put herself back up again. 2094 was teaching the girl how to juggle, and suddenly she broke down and started crying. saying she wanted to go home. At that moment, that was when he knew that deep down, what he feared and hoped that it was just his own imagination was true. Manny has been taking kids against their will. And so 2094 confronted Manny. "This isn't how we do things anymore, Manny. We don't abduct kids," said 2094, hoping to change his way. But all he received was a harsh slap across the face. "I'm just doing what's necessary to keep the circus alive. It's on the verge of collapse. Can't you see?" Defeated, angry, 2094 knew he had to do something about this. He must save the girl. Using the only way he knew how, he hid the girl inside his mouth and sneaked her back to her home through the kaleidoscope, a portal in the circus that allows people or things to pass through to any destination. And finally, the girl was saved. A small victory for 2094 and the integrity of the circus. When Manny found out what 2094 did, he furiously accused him of betraying the circus, his family. Manny gathered the members of the circus around and locked 2094 into a car trunk, which was soon recovered by the Foundation team. 2094 had stayed in the containment facility ever since. But still, something from the past troubled him. The following is the footage of what happened as he woke up abruptly one night. He started to leap from his bed and began knocking his head violently against the wall. "Stop it! Don't, please, don't take anything!" he screamed. He clutched at his head tightly as he was seemingly tortured by the memories of his past. He screamed again, and this time he mentioned a name. "It's all I have now, Manny! It's all I have!" Later, when he was asked by the Foundation interviewer, he couldn't remember what had tormented him during that nightmarish fit and fallen into a period of depression. He had lost parts of his memories regarding the events that led up to him being locked in the trunk by Manny. Perhaps there was something more to it than a mere scuffle between them. Over time, as he regained his usual cheerful mood and playful